Welcome to the DoubleACS Daily News. The new shelter located at 150 Pleasant Street in Attleboro, named Ascension House, will soon be able to help people in need. The shelter features emergency housing and long-term support housing. DoubleACS spoke with one of the managers to learn more.
Hello, I am Susan Mazzarella. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Catholic Charities of the Diocese of Fall River, and welcome to Ascension House, our brand new shelter in Attleboro. Ascension House is an emergency overnight shelter that could house 18 shelter guests every single evening. We called it Ascension House because the term ascension, not only does it have a religious meaning in the Catholic world, but the word ascension means to rise up. We are hoping that metaphorically, people who might be struggling on the streets could rise up from the cold and come into warmth. Here we have our facilities crew, and they're extraordinary, and they've been assembling these. So this is it. We're getting close to opening this shelter, which is really a dream come true. We have been talking about getting a resource for folks who are on the streets in Attleboro since 2018. And after many iterations and people coming on board and then transitioning away, it was State Representative Jim Hawkins who embraced this project. And we formed a core group, and then we formed the Northern Bristol County Collaborative as the nonprofit to try to manage finding an organization who could purchase land and build this facility. And so here we are, years later, with this beautiful, beautiful building. The organization that purchased the land and built this gorgeous building is NeighborWorks. This facility is an 18-bed shelter on the first floor, and then 22 permanent supportive housing apartments on the second and third floor, and there are a few also on the first floor here. And in order to be a candidate for these apartments, we are working with Community Counseling of Bristol County, CCBC, because they manage the coordinated entry list. Coordinated entry is a HUD mandate where people who are experiencing chronic homelessness, we put their name on a list, they go through an assessment, and they're given a score, and based on the score, that determines the place in line. It determines who is able to access apartments first. So that is where tenants for the apartments are being selected, coordinated entry. So every shelter guest that comes in, every agency like Food and Friends that works with folks who are unhoused, the scramble is to get everybody's name on the coordinated entry list so they could be eligible for the apartments. The way this building was designed, it does not have a commercial kitchen because that would take up too much space and would cut into some of the apartments. And the goal is to really have a permanent place for people to live. And that shelter should just be a transition place to permanent supportive housing. So in order to maximize the space and not eat up the square footage with a giant commercial kitchen, we went for a small area, so there's a little kitchen there. We'll be able to offer continental breakfast in the morning. But that leaves us with the conundrum of how do we feed people in the evening? Enter Food and Friends, an incredible organization that has said, we will be happy to help you any way that you need. So Food and Friends will be cooking a hot meal for every one of our shelter guests almost every night of the week. We've got one night that I'm trying to figure out who could sponsor us. If anyone is interested in being a part of this project and a part of Catholic Charities as a staff member here, send your resume in to me, Susan Mazzarella. You could look on the website, and there's my email address there. Just to be a part of a community that cares so much and is willing to help so much. That is a true gift.